Welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. Today we have a Yamaha F-150 2013. Customer complains about harsh shift. It's not that bad, but you really gotta work it. And when you are docking the boat, it could really become a hassle. Yes, it's harsh shifting. First thing you do, obviously, you go to your control cable. You take the pin off the end of the cable and remove the cable from the cradle. And then you go back to the control box and you notice that now the shift is perfectly smooth. Means your control box and your control cables are out of the equation. That is working fine. So when you put your hand directly into the shift, it's very hard to shift. Again, you go to the lower unit, maybe, let's remove the lower unit just in case. Remove the lower unit, check the shift in the lower unit, perfect. All right, I apologize from the start because in order to show you, I'll be moving this camera like crazy, so bear with me. First thing, we go into the shift, right there. This is the end of the cable, this is the throttle, this is the shift. We go into the shift, let me focus that, and there is this pin, right? Holding the cable in place. Remove this pin, this cutter pin, this retainer, and then you take the end of the cable off. See, I don't have any tools right now. Let me do it by hand. There you go. See, right there. That's your shifting right there. So when you try to move this with your hand, this should move really, really freely. And it's not. It's very, very hard. It just move a little bit. Let me put it back. Oh, man. No way. It's pretty hard. All right, so power head is already benched. Now this is the way this looks. When I told you that you had to drain your oil first, now if I hadn't drained the oil, all this will be borderline and the oil would be right there. So now we're gonna go ahead and clean all this, put a rag or something to protect from going in. This is the actual mechanism that we are replacing. Look at that. Look at how that looks. You see that? That's why this has harsh shifting. I'm gonna go ahead. Remember I told you everything was fastened only with one bolt and one pin, guide pin? Well, check it out. I don't even know where I put my, anyway, take this bolt out, which I already had it loosen up, all right? Once this bolt comes out, now we're gonna shake this up a little bit. And in the other side, right here, in this leg, you put one bolt. On this leg, there is the pin, that famous pin. Here it comes. Don't drop it. Don't drop it in the oil. I can feel it right there. I'm touching that pin right now. So we're gonna take this out. Okay, stop right there for a second and get ready to take that pin out before I drop it. All right, so I already got the pin. So once you're removing this, you're gonna have this grommet. This grommet right here, can you see this kind of grommet right here? Oh man, so much dirt. Bring this back here. See this right here? That grommet, it won't let you to take the actual shift out because it's hitting that grommet. So all you gotta do is just take it out, all right? Let's go ahead and tie now. Okay. See if I can take a little bit of the front. Okay, a little bit on the other side. Okay, we got it. All right, see? This grommet right here is the one that prevents water from going in. We're gonna put it in the new shaft. And once we clean all that, we're gonna put this grommet the other way. We're gonna go down, pushing it down, which is going to be a lot easier. And this is the assembly, completely out. Okay, in parts. Actually, this bushing came without a bag, so I couldn't give you a part number. Well, I could, if I look for it, yeah. You need the bushing, which is probably the cost of everything. This little guy right here, which is probably a couple of dollars. So this is the part number for the, what is this? This pin right here This pin is important. You'll be able to see it when I take it apart. It's like a guide pin, okay? So here is the bolt that holds everything together. It's only one bolt with a pin, right? Then you got the part numbers. Then you have the little ball. This is the part number to that little ball. That is spring loaded with this spring right here. This spring, this is the part number. And then you need two of this, which is two washers, plastic washers. All right, this is the part number. And then you need the, okay, this is the housing to the spring that goes into that little ball. That's the part number right there. And then you have this, which is a little smaller bushing, part number. And then this one, part number is retainer that holds everything together. And finally, the little grease surge or fitting, which is, where's the part number? Right there. Right? All right. All right. Let's remove this grommet out. There it is. And it should be coming out now. There you go. See? Comes out. Boom. Here it is. And now we're going to go ahead and put it in the new shaft. Okay? So it should be okay. We know that the part that goes to the top is this one. So we're just going to go like that. It's coming out. And that's it. And we got it where we want it. Okay? In case we forget when we're installing this, now we got our grommet where it should go. Copy that? Good. All right, let's keep going. Also, I forgot, very important, the complete shift rod, brand new. All right, complete shift rod. Here is where it engages. This is the top part, all right? This complete shift rod is this part number, which for some reason they don't call it, they don't call it shift rod. They call it like manual level or something like that. I don't know why. And then the main start of the movie, the bracket, where everything engages, where everything goes to. This is the part number, all right? All right, I hope you got them all. So the ways this goes is you grab the shift rod, right? The bushing, this is the bushing right here. I don't know if I should probably get closer. I think it's fine. Yeah. You got the bushing. You put it here, right? Obviously, in here goes the grease fitting. Okay, now one of the washers goes first, all the way to the top, right about there. Then now we're going to go ahead and put this through here, all the way to the top, and it's going to seat up against that washer right there. Okay, and then we need the second washer. Where are you? Washer right here. Okay, this washer goes to the bottom, just like so. Okay, all right, and having those like that, then we're going to put the little retainer right here. Okay, let me grab a retainer pliers, right? The retainer, if you look at the retainer closely, it has a round, kind of round face, and the other side is a flat face, right? Now, put the flat face looking down, and the round face looking up, okay? All right, let's put it up here. Grab my pliers. You didn't put it well the first time, and now this piece is out. There you go. Now, to make sure that you really put it in place, with your nail or something, just rotate it, and make sure it's rotated within the groove where you snapped it. Look at that. This thing is not, but it turns easy. See, look at that, how easy it turns now. Okay. And then now we're gonna put grease on this. So we got the spring out, the little ball bearing. It's not gonna act It's not gonna act as a bearing, it's gonna act as a detent. And this is the spring. So this is gonna engage right in this. You see this little, let me see if I can. In this, you see there are little like things, like little humps right here. Right, the detent is gonna engage there, okay? So we put this on the housing. Remember, this is the housing. I gave you the part number already, all right? We're gonna put this little ball here, okay? Put a little bit of grease there. Now I'm gonna put a little spot of grease so I can grab my detent and stick it in there with the grease. I got the housing with the spring inside. All right, everything is like that. In here, we don't want this this thing to move ever again. So we're gonna get a lot of thread locker right there. Okay. Okay, here we go now. Okay, I put the ball the ball is being held by the grease. So I put it in there. Okay, and it's gonna go ahead and touch the lobes. See if you can see that, see it? Right there, okay, right there, all right, here we go. The detent ball is already touching. Take it all the way, now we're gonna give it torque. And now, you see, forward, neutral, reverse. All right, we're gonna put grease on these lobes, on these humps, on these cam followers, so the detent ball can rotate on the grease. Now it's gonna do its job, shifting, see? Forward, neutral, reverse. That's the way it should be working. All right. Next. All right. Now we're gonna go ahead and put some grease in this fitting. I get a better view right there. All right, I put my grease fitting and pump it once and twice, 4 times. See, look at that. See all that grease coming out everywhere? That's the way you want to do it. See, grease coming on top, everywhere, right? And grease on the cams. So the detent valve can freely dictate your gears. All right, this assembly is ready to just bring the power head. Now take the power head off and then slide this one in. And now at the end, it's very important, this part, this complete assembly is being in position, fastened in position with 1 bolt and 1 pin dowel or guide pin. That's it. So be careful with that pin, don't lose it, which I already told you. It was this, where's it at? I got the bolt right here, which I gave you the part number, and I got the little pin. Look at how small that thing is. That's what prevents the whole thing from turning. Unbelievable, huh? All right. All right, we finished the cleaning. Big difference, huh? The before and after. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the shift rod right now, and then the gasket. Oh, by the way, the gasket is part number. This is the part number of the base gasket to the power head, okay? And you cannot go wrong because it's got 2 pin dowels. That's gonna tell you how the gasket goes. 1 here, 1 there. If when you remove the power head, you don't see them there, they're obviously stuck below the power head. Just go ahead and remove them from there and transfer them to here so you can put the gasket and the gasket won't move. Now I got a trick for you. Once we are approaching the power head down so we don't damage the gasket while the power head is moving, I got you a trick for that. But let's put the shift rod first. All right, so here is the assembly. All right, here is that little bitty pin. That pin is gonna go right here in this little bitty hole, okay? So just a little bitty drop, not too much, we don't want to fill it up. And pins going in. They're tough to install. All right, so that's done, and we're gonna give it a little bit of a percussion, if you know what I mean. That's it. Okay, the pin is in. All right, now we're gonna get the bolt. The bolt's gonna have some thread locker also, obviously, right? Okay. Now we're ready to put this thing in. All right, now, before we do anything, this is gonna go this way, and we're gonna go ahead and, okay. Remember, we have to put this this grommet in place. So let's do that now. All right, here we go. One side first. A little bit on each side. A little bit on each side. Okay. Okay, I got one side already in. Let's work on the other side now. And one more push on this side, and we should be almost there. Come on. Done. All right. We got it in. Now this baby is going to go straight into the pin. Right there. And the bolt that we already have with thread locker is here. We're going to start a bolt until the head touches the assembly. Okay. And at the same time, that pin, it's going to be going in. If not, we'll give it a little, again, percussion. You see? Right now, see how it's going down, down, down. Good. Let's stop right there. And we're going to give it a little bit of help. Little help. Down. That's down all the way. A little bit more here. That it's completely down. Perfect. And this is only a little bit bolt, so don't go crazy on this. Just kind of a snug it a little bit. Remember, you have thread locker. All right, now look at this baby. Boom, boom, boom. That's the way the cookie crumbles. Now we have a bushing that goes here, which I'm gonna get right now. This part number, okay? And that's a bushing right there. That little bitty bushing goes right here, so it doesn't have any play. Okay, so. Perfect. And now we are ready for what? Who wants to guess? The pin. Boom. Now, look at this. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Yes, you can see it. Yes. See, remember we couldn't move this. Look now. Look at this. This is the way that it should shift. Customer is definitely going to notice the difference. So we're going to use the pins that I told you about to make sure, you see there is one pin here and the other pin there. So we know that that gasket is not going anywhere, okay? Now, when this block is coming down, you gotta make sure not to damage that gasket, okay? So this is clean and set. Make sure your power head also is very, very clean. The metal, it doesn't have any corrosion or anything. Make sure that there is no dust. Clean it real well with parts cleaner or with acetone. Make sure there is not any oil in here, right? That's very, very important. Make sure your tunnels or the tunnel of each one of your holes where the bolt that holds the power heads are very, very clean of any dust or any corrosion, because as you put in your bolts through, all that dust is going to go directly on that gasket. We don't want that, okay? All right. When you are ready to bring your bolts into the power head from down to up, correct? Just if you grab 3 or 4 of your power head bolts, old ones, obviously is what I did. I cut the heads off, right? Oops, sorry. I cut the heads off, right? But I left the other end with the, the end of the bolt, right? The end of the bolt, I left it untouched. On the side of the head that I cut, I sharpen them up a little bit like that, right? So we're gonna screw these 3 or 4 bolts into the power head. Now, as an advice, always use the front 2. Why? Look in the outside, you're gonna have a lot. Let me show you. I use just one of this, but I always use the 2 front ones. Because why? Let me show you. Because on the front ones, when I put it in like that, let me go here. In the front ones, where's my bolt? Right here. When I put it in like that, I'm not gonna have any problems. See, it's gonna go down, 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 down. When the power head touches down, I'm not gonna have any issues removing my 2 front ones. In the back, I'm gonna pick the ones in the corner because, I'm sorry, not the ones in the corner, the ones in the front corner, these ones, sorry, not this one, again, this one, the one in the front corner, because for being a corner, it's gonna be very easy to grab that little bit of bolt and take them out, okay? So now, we're gonna go to the power head. As we said, we're gonna use the 2 front ones. Just a few turns, remember, you're not tightening anything. You just don't want these things to fall. So 3 or 4 turns is plenty. Let me get another one. Put it also in the front. So this, what we're doing right now with this, let's call them tools, and the one we set all the way back in the corner. Just a couple of threads, that's it. Perfect, very soft, so I can remove them later. So this is the way it's gonna look, all right? Cut this bolt, cut the heads off, sharpen them up, 2 or 3 turns in the front, 2 in the front, 1 in the back. Now, you won't hurt your gasket because those guide bolts are gonna be going in long before the power head even reaches the gasket. As you can tell now, the guides that we installed in the front are easy to come out. Look at this. 1, see? The other one is very, very little here, but it comes out. 2, and this side, where are you? Right here. And 3, see? Very easy. I got my 3 pins right here. All right, 1 on this side. 1 on this side. All right, this power head is not going anywhere. All right, so all the bolts are already fastened down all the way in the midsection. Now is the time to put everything back the way we removed it in the same order. Now I have the guide, right? The dipstick guide. It's got an O-ring in it. You can put some grease on this O-ring or replace it and put a new one. I always put a new one, but believe me, the old one works just fine. Just put a little bit of grease on it. All right, which I'm gonna do in this one too, in my new one. Okay. All right, and See how it goes. See, the area is clean down there already. So just put it in and try to find the angle that it goes down all the way. There you go. And as soon as you get down there, torque the little bolt that goes on the side and you're good to go. I hope you got some tips out of this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget the subscribe and thumbs up and all that. Thank you. Take care.